As we celebrate Mandela Day today, SA Harvest and Chefs with Compassion have come together and are doing their bit by providing 67,000 litres of soup to 268,000 people into cities around South Africa. They are adhering to Madiba's call through the collective action of hundreds of chefs who are doing what they love to do as part of the Mandela Day cook-a-thon. The Mandela Day initiative to cook 67,000 litres of soup will put the spotlight on the massive issue of food waste in South Africa. Since the lockdown began, SA Harvest has delivered 1.7 million meals to a range of beneficiaries who feed hungry people on a daily basis. But to tell us more about this initiative, we are joined via Skype by Chef Coo, Mr. Coo, who is the director of SA Chef and one of the founders of Chefs with Compassion. Mr. Pillay, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. It's good to be here.
Take us through why SA Harvest and Chefs with Compassion came together to embark on this project.
Well, it's just the spirit of Madiba, and it's about giving. And Chefs with Compassion and SA Harvest share the same philosophy of feeding the nation, and we've come together to and brought chefs on board to deliver wholesome, nutritional, and hearty meals to the people.
With the current lockdown, already in effect, how has it affected food security to South Africans?
There's been a dire need to feed people. People are obviously been affected by the lockdown. A lot of people have been retrenched, have lost their jobs, lost income, and have found themselves destitute. And at the same time, we've seen an increase in food wastage. So we are now rescuing the food to create meals and feeding people in need.
Okay. And there will be over 10 cities, I understand, that will be benefiting. How did you go about selecting these cities and why?
So Chefs with Compassion currently operates in the Western Cape, KZN, and Gauteng. And SA Harvest has a national footprint. So we've come together to try and reach as many people as we can. So this is how we got the 10 cities, namely Johannesburg, Pretoria, Vereeniging, Rustenburg, Nelspruit, Mokopane, Rustenburg, Port Elizabeth, Cape Town, and Durban.
So in your quest of reaching as many people as you possibly can, how does the distribution take place? Do you go door to door or they come to a certain point?
Okay, so still respecting the COVID protocols and regulation. Food will be cooked in the various kitchens and then collected by a representative of a beneficiary. The food then gets taken to the beneficiary and then distributed from the beneficiary.
Okay, so over 300 chefs are participating to ensure that these meals reach over 268,000 people. So how did you go about, with getting the chefs involved? How was this a task?
Well, it was overwhelming. The chefs' support to the cause has been phenomenal. The chefs themselves are also going through a very tough period at the moment with restaurants and hotels and catering companies closed, but everybody wants to do their bit, support Mandela Day and beyond, and this is why we call ourselves Chefs with Compassion.
And Chefs with Compassion was founded to feed people in need during the COVID-19 pandemic. So to date, how many mouths have been fed?
So in the last 12 weeks since the lockdown has started, we have fed in excess of 440,000 people.
Okay, so take us through the soup and the nutritional value of these meals.
So again, having chefs preparing these meals, we've got chefs that have come together. We actually design a dish, looking at the nutritional value, looking at the proteins that go into it, and also at the same time trying to give the correct balanced meal to the community. So it's not just about cooking, but it's also about taking care of our people at the same time.
You know, civil activism and doing good for humanity is not, it's not a task that is only confined to a particular individual or a certain organization. It needs to be, a collective. We need to work as a collective. So in terms of funding, who do you work with? I mean, how are you getting to push this initiative further?
Absolutely. I mean, this is not just chefs. We have reached out across the board to all industries to help us, because it's not just about cooking food, it's about administrating, it's about sourcing, it's logistics, delivery. Right now, we have been reliant on public funding because we're a new NPO. We are still establishing ourselves, but we are also looking out to government and the private sector for support.
So how can the general public then get involved?
So go onto our website, which is chefswithcompassion.org.za, and click on the donate button. All our details are on there, and we're always saying is contribute 10 Rand or denominations of 10 Rand. We know times are tough for all people, but we all need to also look deep within ourselves to help one another and help our country so that we can, rid ourselves with the situation of poverty and hunger in our country.
So how often do you distribute the meals?
7 days a week.
7 days a week. All right. All right. Please share those details again, how we can get in touch and, the kind of assistance that we expect from people who are so taken by this initiative.
So it's www.chefswithcompassion.org.za. We're also on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Chefs with Compassion. And even if you can't help us financially, but whatever service or volunteer that you can help us with, we appreciate all types of assistance.
Okay. Mr. Pillay, thank you so much for chatting to us, and do continue the spirit of giving and reignite the spirit of Madiba. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
That was Chef Coo talking to us about the 268,000 people that will receive free soup as part of the Mandela Day celebration.